What up? Welcome back to Pokaching, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be talking about investing or answering any questions, really, in terms of what's going on in the market today. We're not going to be doing an opening either. We're actually going to be talking about how I got into Pokemon as a kid and why I'm still in it today, what I intend to do with the channel, what my goals are, and just kind of overall what Pokemon and Pokemon cards are to me. So what they represent, how I feel about the whole thing, and all the memories and everything that's attached to it, just to kind of go over and to give you a better understanding of me and my stance on everything. And I have noticed that in my analytics, when I see the age range of people that watch my videos, it's mostly, I think it was 25 to 34 year olds. So, pretty much in the same kind of, approximately the same age range as me. And so I thought this video kind of made sense to make because I think what I'm going to be saying in this video will apply to a lot of you guys out there as well. So just before I get into, my story and how I got into Pokemon and all that, I just want to ask you guys if you do, enjoy the content and you do enjoy the videos, if you subscribe to the channel. If, once again, you don't have to, it's just if you enjoy the videos and you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, or you enjoy this video and kind of what will be going on in the future on the channel. And, every like, every comment, everything like that really kind of helps me. It's like one step closer to my goal, and my ultimate goal is, to actually live off of this, to be able to turn my passion into my job. And I think a lot of you guys probably understand, how I feel about that, and maybe you guys want to do the same, I don't know. But yeah, anything helps. So if you want to subscribe, like, comment on the video, go ahead. Once again, you don't have to, but it always helps. So guys, let's get into my story, how I got into Pokemon cards and all that. So I was 7 years old, so just to give you a bit of background info on me, my father is Scottish, my mother is French, and I was born in Scotland and lived there till I was 7 years old. And when I turned 7, or the summer I turned 7, we actually moved to the USA, so we moved to Texas, Houston, Texas to be precise. And it was, my dad's job that kind of led us to do that. And, in America, it was in 1999 that we arrived. That was the beginning. That's when, Pokemon started to really gain traction. You had the anime, you had the video games on Game Boy, you had Pokemon Stadium, you had all the Pokemon cards and everything. And that's really when I got into it. So at the very beginning of, English or more international Pokemon card, toys, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing that really caught my attention was the anime. So I saw the cartoon, I really got interested in it, I started watching that. I remember on my birthday I got a blue version that my mother bought for me, and I have some very, very vivid memories of actually playing the game. It was kind of dark outside, and if you guys have ever been or are from Houston, you get some pretty big, thunderstorms and so on, and it was a really rainy day, thunderstorms, and it was actually, sadly, a day where there was quite a big flood from my memories. But just to say that I have some very vivid memories of me kind of tilting my Game Boy Color towards the window to get enough light to actually see what was going on in the video game, because we had no backlit screen or anything like that back in the day. And I remember the raindrops kind of running on the window of the car, reflecting off the thing. I have really vivid memories of playing that game, what Pokemon I was using at the time, which was Charmeleon. So many memories that are really intense. And I think some of you guys probably feel the same. And I feel it's really important to share that. And I know this video is probably going to be a bit longer and a lot of kind of details and so on, but I just want everything to be clear, and I want everyone to understand really how much Pokemon and Pokemon cards mean to me. So, like I said, watch the anime, the video games. Gold version is my favorite game of all time. Out of any video game that exists, Gold version is #1 for me. I love that game. And yeah, shortly after, starting school, elementary school, Pokemon cards were kind of popping up, and I was getting really interested in those. And yeah, I just got the Pokemon bug bit me pretty hard, let's just say. And since then, I've always loved Pokemon. I've always really enjoyed it. And at the time, obviously, it was Base Set, Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket. While I was in the States, Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge released, as well as Neo Genesis. And then I moved away, moved to France, and moved to other countries in between. And, you know, I collected, you know, EX era, Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, all that kind of stuff. You know, I probably stopped around, I'd say, before X and Y. So I think Black and White is probably when I stopped collecting Pokemon cards, and I really focused on completing my base set, which is what I was really obsessed of at the time. I was obsessed with base set. That was like the only thing that really mattered to me. You know, vintage cards were the only thing that were cool. All the modern stuff, I didn't like it. But then, you know, I ended up selling my base set during the whole COVID boom thing, and yeah, I made a decent amount of money. It's probably worth a bit more now from when I sold it, but you know, that's just the way it goes, and it doesn't really matter. But in a sense, it's a good thing that I sold my base set, because now that it's kind of inaccessible to me right now with my financial situation, I just can't afford it. It's probably a good thing, because it's actually opened my horizons to modern Pokemon trading cards, and especially Pokemon 151, which really reeled me back in. And it's probably the same for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of people were pulled back into the Pokemon trading card game because of 151. The artworks are amazing. It's a set with every single Pokemon card from the first, every single Pokemon, sorry, from the first generation. And it's the first time in Pokemon history that they've actually printed a set with every single Pokemon from Gen 1 in Pokedex order in one single set. So, you know, that really pulled me back in and really kind of made me love Pokemon cards again. You know, the amazing artworks and so on. If you go back to, you know, X and Y and so on, yeah, there are some very cool cards, but if you compare the artwork from then and now, you have to admit that the artwork is much, much better now, a lot more vibrant, a lot more interesting than it was back in the day. And so, yeah, I collected as a kid. I was obsessed with Pokemon as a kid. You know, I collected all sorts of different eras throughout my life. After I sold my base set during COVID, I actually started collecting Dragon Ball Super. I also collected Digimon, I collected One Piece, you know, all the Bandai TCGs. So, you know, I did go through a bunch of different TCGs before actually coming back to Pokemon. And I think Pokemon is just one of those things where it's always going to be a part of me. It's always going to be something that's very important to me because of all the memories that are attached to it. You know, I can just look at a specific card and remember exactly where I was, what the weather was like, what I traded it for, how I felt at the time holding that card that I just got in a trade. And yeah, the memories are so vivid, so strong. And, you know, my parents buy me booster packs every now and then. It was very occasional, but, you know, you loved it when you got a booster pack. It was like an event, you know, when you were a kid, especially for me. It was just, you know, any day you got a Pokemon pack was like an amazing day. So yeah, that's kind of my story in terms of trading cards and how I got into it. And, you know, I have very, very strong feelings to Pokemon, and I really do care about it, and I do love it. I love to collect it, and I always will. And, you know, I decided to create this channel because of that. I decided that I was going to give it a go, try and make it something that I can maybe live off of one day, and you know, turn my passion into my job. So that's to kind of go over how, you know, I got into Pokemon, how I feel about Pokemon overall, and I just wanted to introduce myself as well. I meant to do it at the start of the video, but I forgot. You know, my name's Thomas. You can call me Tom if you want in the comments. You know, feel free, you can call me Tom. And I'm 32 years old. I'm going to be 33 in July. So yeah, anyone that's around my age range, and that's why I looked at my analytics. And I know there are some 25-year-olds that are a bit younger, you know, that probably started in the later eras, maybe, I don't know, EX or Diamond and Pearl. I'm not really too sure where that kind of situates them in terms of what they maybe started with for Pokemon cards. But yeah, there are a bunch of people that were interested in vintage, and that, you know, have been interested in Pokemon obviously for many, many years now, because if you're 25 years old and you're a kid, you know, that's over 10 years of you being interested in Pokemon cards. So I feel like a lot of what I'm saying probably applies to you as well. So yeah, my name's Tom, I'm 32 years old, and I'm hoping to make it one day with Pokemon cards, investing in the channel. Which brings me on to my next point, my next topic that I want to talk about in this video, and that is, why do I invest? Well, I invest because I have had so many opportunities in the past without even realizing it. First of all, you know, my base set, I had, you know, PSA 10 base set Charizard, Blastoise, I had several PSA 9 Venusaurs, you know, I had a bunch. I had pretty much every single holo card from the base set in 9 or better. Most of them were PSA 10s. And, you know, I could have held on to those and made a lot more money today. I don't really regret it, once again, because separating myself from base sets, separating myself from what I always deemed to be the one and only, you know, set to collect, separating myself from that has kind of opened my horizons and allowed me to look further on into modern cards. So it's not a bad thing, and I don't regret it, even though I could have made a lot more money today. It doesn't matter, that's just the way it goes. But yes, there have been many missed opportunities. So with my base set, I also bought a bunch of CP6 from the Japanese set. So that's the Japanese version of Pokemon Evolutions. And I remember buying like 8 or 9 booster boxes for around $40 at the time. And now they're worth, I think they're worth around $1,500 to $2,000 for one booster box. Maybe that's changed since, but when I last looked, that's how much it was worth for one box. And I kind of thought to myself, man, if I just kept those sealed, because I don't even have any of those anymore, I sold everything. If I kept those sealed, I would have been, you know, I would have been able to pay for a bunch of things for the house I'm living in right now, for a really nice vacation, you know, just having some financial stability, having some money aside, you know, just for anything that could happen in, you know, any day in your life. You know, you have things happening, sometimes you have to pay for something like repairs, or you may have health issues. Not that I have any, but you never know, it can always be useful. And I just thought to myself, man, I've had so many missed opportunities, so many things that I've kind of collected and then just sold. And yeah, I did enjoy it, which is the main thing, right? That's what it's for. I did enjoy it, but I thought I need to use my money in a way that I understand, that makes sense to me, and something that I love. And I love Pokemon. I love Pokemon cards more than anything. It's my favorite thing, you know, it's a hobby more than anything physical in terms of, you know, fun, let's say, entertainment. Obviously, I don't love Pokemon cards more than my family or my girlfriend, but you get what I mean. I really do love it. It's something that I really enjoy, and I always will. And I thought, you know what, maybe I can use my knowledge, because it's not very hard to understand which sets are going to do well, which sets aren't going to do so well. I mean, everything is worth investing in. There's always opportunity everywhere. If you look at every single sealed Pokemon product in history, everything's gone up over time, without fail. So it's a pretty safe investment, something I understand, and something that I like to invest in, something I find fun. And so the goals with my investments are to let them grow over time, so maybe 5 years, maybe more, and use those investments once they've grown to a certain value, sell them on to buy other investments. So let's say, you know, I'll show you some of the stuff I have, just to give you an idea of what I have. I will mention how much I paid for it, because this video is also like a starting point for the channel, even though I did start in November or early December, I can't remember. This is kind of like a starting point for the channel, just to show you what I have, and we'll look at this in a year's time. We'll do another video and just see where we're at, see how we are with investments, see how we are with the channel, see how things are going. And it's just kind of like every year I'd like to make a video like this, so it will be a bit longer, but I think it's really important just to keep kind of track of how things are evolving over time with the channel, with the investments. So I will go into that, and I will talk about all the stuff that I have so far in a few minutes. But yeah, let's just say I have, you know, Surging Sparks, for example. I have a few booster boxes that I have sealed that I managed to get at a reasonable price. So I paid $115 for my booster boxes because I pre-ordered them before everything went completely crazy. And, you know, maybe in 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe those boxes will be worth, I don't know, 600, 700, maybe even more. And, you know, maybe I'll be able to sell one box to buy 4 more of a newer set that might have a lot of potential. And then those 4 boxes will in turn grow in value. And then I can sell those 4 off and then buy more. And you kind of get the idea, kind of snowball effect of selling your stuff once it's gained value to bring in new stuff for it to gain value in turn, and just repeat the process, rinse and repeat, and eventually grow to a stage where you're actually able to live off your investments. You're able to use your investments to fuel your channel. So I'm saying you, but I'm talking about me. You know, being able to use it to fuel the channel, to fuel future investments, to fuel openings and so on, to do maybe some crazy giveaways down the line. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to give away some really incredible stuff. You know, when it becomes really rare in a few years' time. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know where the channel is gonna go from here. But all I know is that I am gonna stick with it. I am gonna be patient, and I am patient, and I love what I'm doing so far. And you know, I don't really mind too much if it takes time, because I'm loving it so much. You know, when I have days off, I just want to make videos. I want to make videos. I want to edit videos. I'm thinking about Pokemon all the time. I'm thinking about investing. I'm thinking about collecting. I'm thinking about what cards I should buy, which ones I really like. You know, I'm always thinking about it. I'm always kind of animated by it. And that's what I love so much about it. And that's why I invest in it. So now that we've gone over my intentions with my investments, what I want to get out of them, so, you know, being able to finance the channel down the line, have some cool openings of rarer items once they become rare down the line, using those to flip, to buy, you know, other investments, maybe using them if I need them, you know, to buy a new car, to do repairs on the house, to improve my life overall, just anything. It can be useful for anything. And that's what I want to use my investments for. Now, I've probably gone over it, you know, piece by piece as I was talking earlier, but my goals for the channel is going to be the next topic, and my goals are obviously, you know, I'd like to make a living out of this one day. Even if I don't earn a lot of money, I don't care. I just want to earn enough to be able to live off of my hobby, to live off of my passion, and, you know, just have fun, interact with you guys, and really enjoy the thing that I've loved since I was a kid, which is Pokemon overall. Trading cards are the #1 thing that I like the most, obviously. But, you know, the games and everything, and just really just having time. And I think that's something that's really important to me, that I'm realizing over time, is being a master of my own time is something that I'd really like to achieve. And I think that if I'm able to have, you know, a full-time job, keeping a YouTube channel going, making investments in Pokemon cards, you know, I'll be able to manage my time and have more time with my loved ones, more time to just enjoy life and not do the day-to-day, you know, going to work, coming back, going to sleep, going to work, coming back, going to sleep, just repeating the same kind of routine over and over again. And that's kind of my goal with the channel. And obviously the #1 thing is making sure that everything that I put out is interesting to you guys. I want you guys to enjoy it. I want to be able to give back to you guys also one day, you know, when I'm able to, you know, do giveaways and so on, make things interesting for you guys as well. That's pretty much where I want to go with the channel. And I just want you guys to all know that I do really love the hobby. I do really love Pokemon TCG, collecting and so on. But yeah, I don't think that the fact that you invest means that you're just there to make money. I think it can kind of show that you like it so much that you want it to be your job, which is my case, and investments are maybe one way to do that. So I'm going to go into that next. So we're going to be looking at all my investments, and I hope everything's making sense in this video, that I'm not just kind of jumping from one thing to another. I'm trying to keep the video somewhat structured, but obviously this is all just kind of off the dome, just talking to you guys. Nothing's planned or anything, so there's no script or anything. So yeah, hopefully it all makes sense. So let's look at what I have so far in terms of investment. So the sound might not be as good because I have my microphone here now that I'm talking to you. But when I switch with the camera, obviously my microphone isn't going to be carried around, it's just going to be here. So you might not hear me as well, or it might switch to the camera's microphone. So keep that in mind. And let's look at what I have so far in terms of investments. So right here, we have the Surging Sparks boxes that I was able to get at 115. So I have 3 here that are sealed for investment purposes. So those were paid, I paid 115 for those. I do have one that I'm keeping in my sealed collection. I have a Prismatic Evolutions ETB that I'm keeping in my sealed collection. And I have 2 151 Japanese boxes that I'm keeping in my sealed collection. And the idea is that every set that comes out, for all the mainline sets, I want to have a booster box to keep in my sealed collection, and for all the specialty sets, I'll just keep 1 ETB in my sealed collection, and all the rest is going to be for investment purposes. So here I have 5 Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. So I was very, very lucky. I paid $37.99 for each of these, which is very, very cheap when you look at how much they're worth now. Obviously these prices will probably change over time as reprints come out and so on, but we'll just see how that goes. Here we have two sealed mini tin displays for Prismatic Evolutions. So I paid a bit more for these. So I did pay 160 each. So yeah, it's pretty expensive, but I thought I actually really like the item, and yeah, I just thought may as well get them. They will be going up over time, and because my goal is to hold things long term, you know, it's not really a big deal, and down the line, you know, all that kind of stuff won't really matter. In 6 years, 7 years, I won't really care that I paid 160 for those, I don't think so. So yeah, and here's all the mess that I need to sort out, which is my single cards collection. So I really need to, these binders are empty here. I need to organize everything and get everything nice and neat. And here we have, for investment purposes, we have 4 sealed 151 booster boxes from Japanese. And we also have, I don't know if you're familiar with these big, you know, classic collection boxes. I do have one here, which is, it's outside of the cardboard box, but everything is sealed and brand new. So you have the sleeves and the cards in there, and you have all the rest in that big box. And then we have a 100% sealed one here. So these are Japanese, and the Japanese ones came in a cardboard box. So it's not exactly the same as the English one. And so, you know, the narrow boxes containing sleeves and cards were on the outside of the actual big black box. So yeah, that's just how it came. So if you want to buy that sealed, technically you have to buy it in the original cardboard box, which is right there. Next we have, just under here, under my desk, we have a Prismatic Evolutions poster collection box case. So we have 6 in there. And here we have 2 blister cases. So we have Paradox Rift and Obsidian Flames. So that's all I have so far. Hopefully I'll be getting some Journey Together stuff coming in soon. And let me just set the camera back up. So yeah, that's all I have for now. You know, I started out with Surging Sparks, so I consider myself pretty lucky with what I've gotten so far. And you know, hopefully in the next few days, well, by the time you watch the video, I'll have already received anything that I was supposed to receive from Journey Together. I managed with a lot of difficulty. So when the pre-orders dropped a while ago, I managed to pre-order 1 booster box and 2 ETBs because it was limited, which is a good thing, by the way. So I got my booster box for 158, so that's just under MSRP, the new MSRP. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna grab it. And I got 2 ETBs. I think I paid 50 or 60 for those. Pretty sure it was 50. So I got 2 of those as well. And recently, I managed to hop in on a second wave of pre-orders on another website where I got 3 booster boxes of Journey Together. So 2 for me, 1 for my girlfriend who actually wants to invest in it as well, because she's obviously seeing the potential in it as well. So yeah, hopefully I will have 2 ETBs and 3 booster boxes for Journey Together, which is very decent considering how difficult it's been. But yeah, once again, I spent a lot of time checking in on all the different websites that I order from, and it wasn't fun, to be honest, but that's just kind of how it goes, and that's just how you have to go about it today. Sadly, hopefully things do settle down and Pokemon reprint everything into absolute oblivion, and then we can actually enjoy things again and buy things at reasonable prices without having to stalk websites or get in queues on Pokemon Center. We'll see how that goes, but hopefully, you know, things settle down and we can start enjoying things again. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I wanted to introduce myself, talk a little bit about my story and how Pokemon has always been something important to me. Is an escape, you know, something that you can go to distract you from, you know, daily life and all the kind of problems and so on that you get. You know, just being an adult, going through your daily life. I'm not saying that life is hard or anything, but you know, sometimes it can be stressful, it can be, sometimes it's not very fun, and it's always nice to have that little kind of innocence thing that you can kind of go to. I don't know if that made sense, but you know, you can go towards your Pokemon collection, look through your collection, or open some packs just to get this kind of escape from reality, if that makes sense. So, you know, I really enjoy it for that. I really enjoy it for all the memories, for all the fun that I've had, for all the friends that I've made with the hobby. And I really do believe in it in terms of investing. I think it's probably the safest investment that I can think of. And all you have to do is be patient and have a little bit of knowledge about Pokemon and which Pokemon are popular, and you're good to go, man. You just have to be reasonable with what you buy. Don't get yourself into financial difficulty buying too much or more than you can handle. That's something very important. Pace yourself. Take your time with it. If you can't buy things right away, don't worry. It doesn't matter if you miss out. You know, there will be more opportunities. There are always things that you can be buying right now. You just have to kind of think outside the box, look towards older product, different products. So instead of booster boxes and ETBs, maybe go for blisters, go for tins. There are always little things that you can find and that you can invest in. So yeah, just play it safe, take your time, don't get into financial difficulty. And if you have a little bit of knowledge about what people like in terms of Pokemon, you can do this as well. It's really not that difficult. The only hard part is being patient and just saying, hey, look, my money has been spent and it's going to be tied up for maybe 5, 6, maybe more years than that. I don't know. But the idea is to put your money to work rather than letting it sleep in a bank account where it's not going to grow. It's actually going to go down in value. So yeah, that's the idea, guys. And for the channel, like I said, you know, I just want it to be a place where people can come to get news on what's going on in the Pokemon TCG. I don't want to get into too much of the negativity, to be honest. I do want to talk about things when they need to be talked about, but I don't want to be too negative because I do think things will get better, and yeah, and just do openings and have fun with you guys, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I really hope this video was interesting and that maybe some of you relate to me and what I'm doing and how I feel about Pokemon overall. And once again, you know, if you do want to follow me on this journey, you know, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, drop a comment down below. You can comment whatever you want. If you just want to talk, if you just want to share something or share a memory or something that you really loved when you were a kid with Pokemon, or just anything, just feel free to comment down below. I'll be happy to read it, happy to interact with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace out.